muk muk marakan, Wurmbel maraj. Marek muk muk marakan, Wurmbel maraj. Marek muk muk marakan, Wurmbel maraj. Natjatang nung. Marek muk muk marakan, Wurmbel maraj. Marek muk muk marakan, Wurmbel maraj. Marek muk muk marakan, Wurmbel maraj. Natjatang nung. Marek muk muk marakan, Wurmbel maraj. Marek muk muk marakan, Wurmbel maraj. Marek muk muk marakan, Wurmbel maraj. Natjatang nung. Marek muk muk marakan, Wurmbel maraj. Marek muk muk marakan, Wurmbel maraj. Marek muk muk marakan, Wurmbel maraj. Natjatang nung. Marek muk muk marakan, Wurmbel maraj. Marek muk muk marakan, Wurmbel maraj. Marek muk muk marakan, Wurmbel maraj. Natjatang nung. Marek muk muk marakan, Wurmbel maraj. Marek muk muk marakan, Wurmbel maraj. Marek muk muk marakan, Wurmbel maraj. Natjatang nung. Marek muk muk marakan, Wurmbel maraj. Marek muk muk marakan, Wurmbel maraj. Marek muk muk marakan, Wurmbel maraj. Natjatang nung. Marek muk muk marakan, Wurmbel maraj. Marek muk muk marakan, Wurmbel maraj. Marek muk muk marakan, Wurmbel maraj. Natjatang nung. Muk muk marakan, Wurmbel maraj. Natjatang nung. Marek 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 muk muk marakan, Wurmbel maraj. Natjatang nung. Marek, muk, marakan, wormbel, maraj, nachatong nunga. 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 3 circles, and sing up country. 3 circles, bro.
Can we go down our Queen Hardy bit?
Yeah, I'll do that in a second. Yeah, just do 3 circles. Put it in the middle, that's it. Stand around it. Jump on this line. Do the, yep. Woo! Balawan! Wade! Gondi Bango! Yananugana he ane Yangabila nugana he ane Yangabila gondiana he ane Yangabila bangoana he ane Yangabila bubangjunga he ane Yangabila kubingeri he ane Yangabila nachamuma he 해안네 해안네 양아빌란 나장다라 해안네 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 양아빌란 다라와무라 해안네 해안네 해안네
Just like to call to the stage Auntie Joyce Donovan to do the Welcome to Country.
Thank you very much. First of all, my name's Joyce Donovan. I'm a Dharawal from the Dharawal people and the Wadi Wadi people, with close links to the Dharik mob. This area down the coast was a place where Dharawal people come up and down and lived. We're also descendants of the great Permaway, who was a rainbow warrior. I'd like to acknowledge my elders, both past and present. And I'd also like to acknowledge the wonderful work and the smoke and ceremony done here by these boys, young boys. I think that it was really, really good, and it's very heartfelt to see custom and ceremony being carried on, languages being woken up from a long sleep. So it's very, very important that that happens. I'd like to talk about a time that no matter where you walked, it was traditional Aboriginal lands and grounds. As you walked in this university, studied or went shopping in Wollongong or wherever you've been, I'd like to talk about a time of traditional people where the bush was like a big pharmacy, where Aboriginal people, where we had our own doctors, our healers, our nurses, our own lawmakers. Aboriginal law was so strict and intringent. It was very, very a hard law that had to be obeyed. I'd like to talk about all the medicines that our people gathered before development come to be, before all housing, development, roads and other bridges and other structures were built. Our people would gather, I would go to Mount Kira and get medicine for myself and my children and my family and extended families. We only have a few people in our community that still go and do this. Leaves would have been taken from trees that were edible. They would have been sipped as teas. Pulp from bark would have been pounded together and used as paste. The Mangara tree was, when wet, it had set as hard as plaster for broken bones. Permalway, people thought that he could never die because he'd be wounded and go to the bush, but he had such a good knowledge of the bush that he could heal himself. So when we look at all those times that have gone by and think about Aboriginal people, no matter where you walk today, Aboriginal people have been there. Aboriginal babies would have been born under birthing trees. There's very, very special reasons for that, for all those, protocols that were done. Aboriginal men would have had their own law in certain places. We have men's places, women's places. We have different areas for different things. With a lot of that in traditional time is a time of where we call them guggerers, you might know them as sorcerers, where healing was a very, very important thing, where it still is an important thing. And I know as I watched the smoke and I wanted to come and walk through that because growing up my mother done that with a lot of different elements. We do that. We do that in a death. We have it more now than ever at our funerals. Funerals are a big part of our community. We've had 6 funerals in, say, the last 3 weeks. We had 2 in one day. So that's a very important thing for our cleansing, for our healing. That is very important, and a lot of these rituals are coming back. I think when we look at education, I come from an era where there was no high school, where at 13 we went out and had to work as a domestic. I'm very, very happy to say that at 38 I was going to be a grandmother and I couldn't read and write. I did go on and got a job. And the importance of these Aboriginal units, and not only the Aboriginal units, but every person that works at universities and TAFEs, even to the sweeper, even to the cleaners, it's very, very important so that our people can stay there. I went on, I joined health, I went and done nursing, I done a lot of different things when I learned how to read and write. I went to Cumberland College of Health Science. 10 years ago I went to UTS and done a double BA in adult education and community management because I believe that our people are hungry for education, and how hard Aboriginal people, that our elders fought for us to be educated, to be able to go to school. I was born in La Perouse, where your life's goal would have been to get a job in the laundry at the hospital there. So it's so important to see all the people that are here graduating, especially our people, because our elders did have to fight. they can now go out and be leaders together with non-Aboriginal people, because we need to work together so that, it'll be better for our young people. I've got 17 great-grandchildren, 11 grandchildren, and I've only had 2 children. But my daughter had 7, her daughter had 7. I'm happy to say that we've got, I've got great-grandchildren that are doing their HSC. It is about, that determines how you can live. It determines your health. It determines whether you're going to end up, a statistic in the prisons. Our people, education is so important for our people, for the next generations. So, without any further ado, I'd just like to say how proud I am to see all the graduates here today. And on behalf of the Dharawal Wadi people, I'd like to welcome everybody here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Auntie Joyce. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. My name is Professor Theo Farrell. I'm the Deputy Vice-Chancellor and Vice President for Academic and Student Life at the University of Wollongong, and I'm thrilled to be your Master of Ceremonies this morning. I would like to acknowledge our Indigenous Strategy Unit and our local Aboriginal community. Their leadership has brought to life a vision for an inclusive, reconciled, and united Australia through this graduation ceremony, where we recognise that Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people are the knowledge holders of country. Thank you for joining us here today on this special occasion. Before we begin, I'd just like to ask everyone to please make sure your mobile phones are turned to silent. The University is extremely proud of our graduates, and we're immensely excited to celebrate your achievements in person today. We also congratulate family and friends who have supported our graduates on their learning journey. Now, we know our graduates have been through a lot. They have endured many aspects of the COVID pandemic and have triumphed. And so, we are here today to congratulate our graduates of 2019, 2020, and 2021, and to acknowledge their dedication and commitment to their goals and their aspirations to make our community and our world a better place. Please join me in congratulating them. Please now stand for an instrumental version of the Australian National Anthem. Thank you. Please be seated. I would now like to introduce the Deputy Chancellor, one of the university's highest officials, Mr. Warwick Shanks, to give the congratulatory address.
Graduates, family and friends, welcome to this graduation ceremony. My name is Warwick Shanks. I'm Deputy Chancellor of the University of Wollongong, and I'm honoured to be here with you today. It is truly one of the highlights of my role to witness students celebrate this great milestone. I'd like to thank the Wollongong Indigenous Centre and members of our Aboriginal community for your leading of the procession today. The smoking ceremony was incredibly moving and makes these events very special. I pay my respects to elders past and present and acknowledge their continued spiritual and cultural connection to the lands on which the University of Wollongong's campuses are located. As part of today's celebration, we are focusing on the themes of the artwork Cultural Healing by artists Auntie Lorraine Brown and Auntie Narelle Thomas from the Kumadichi United Aboriginal Corporation. You will see this artwork all around you on your graduation booklets, as part of the stage design and in various other contexts. The artwork, as I am told, depicts bush tucker, ocean tucker, and medicinal plants and flowers of dreaming stories. All of these things play a role in the health and well-being of Indigenous people, including the stories that explains how things came to be and why we exist. It is believed that this is where knowledge, strength, and a reason why came from. We hope to continue learning from and building a deeper understanding of this cultural wisdom. Looking out to this marvellous sea of gowns, I'd like to begin by congratulating each and every one of our graduating students here today. On behalf of our staff, the Chancellor, the Vice-Chancellor, and the University Council, this is the reason we do what we do. Indeed, it's a special occasion for all of us, friends, family, teachers, mentors, etc. But it is significant for you, our graduates. Many of our students who graduate today are first in family to complete university. Congratulations to you and your families on this momentous occasion. This morning is also a very special occasion for me and my family as we celebrate our daughter's graduation from the University of Wollongong. Today's events are the culmination of years of hard work and personal sacrifice and commitment. I hope you feel a deep sense of pride and will take this moment to reflect on your achievements and how far you have come. As a cohort, you share a unique education experience in an extremely challenging time in our history. So much has changed during this period. Cross-border travel ceased, global supply chains were upended, many industries had to reinvent their service delivery. Likewise, universities had to undertake rapid innovation in teaching and learning. But as I can see in you today, the strength and determination you have shown to get here will stay with you and hold you in good stead for many years to come. This ceremony is a public recognition of your commitment and achievement. It has been our absolute pleasure and privilege to have witnessed and played an integral role in your journey. I hope you will soak up every minute of these celebrations, remembering that this is not a conclusion. Indeed, this is a beginning. As an individual, I hope you will capture these feelings of pride, energy, and passion and take them with you into your future. The transition you are making today from student to graduate is an opportunity to re-establish your priorities, to take stock, and to focus on your future. I hope that your experiences at UOW have shaped not only the person you are today and the career you are about to embark upon, but also the curiosity, empathy, and compassion that you will take with you. The world is changing so quickly, and as we face complex social, environmental, and economic challenges, I'm confident that as graduates of the University of Wollongong, you are well placed to lead the way forward. As graduates of UOW, you are now part of a truly global university network. We deliver programs at campuses in Dubai, Hong Kong, and Malaysia, and have partner institutions in China and Singapore. You can feel proud to be part of a university with an outstanding reputation that spans the globe. The completion of your studies at UOW makes you one of the most employable graduates in Australia and indeed the world. The success of our graduates is the basis for the university's strong reputation, ranking among the top 1% of universities globally and aiming higher every day. Know this, graduates, you are our greatest achievement. And along with our researchers and partners, you are at the heart of UOW's mission to create lasting and positive impact. It's this community of like-minded people that has shaped our university to become a world leader for social and economic impact. Together with our partners, we are working to solve the biggest questions facing society and striving towards a better quality of life for future generations. Alongside the many changes that will happen in your lives following graduation, today also marks a new kind of connection with this university, one I hope will be lifelong through further study and as a proud ambassador. Joining our vibrant global community of more than 163,000 alumni from 179 different countries, you are connected by the shared experience of studying at the University of Wollongong. I encourage you to stay connected with your university and your fellow graduates. The relationships you have formed during your time here will be invaluable for years to come. It is time now to celebrate. Celebrate your hard work and success and know that the world is at your feet. And as you set forth in your careers, remember to always be bold, be courageous, and be strong and stay true to your values. Again, my best wishes and congratulations to each of our graduates. May you have a very happy and memorable graduation day. Thank you for making us so proud.
Thank you, Deputy Chancellor. It is now my great pleasure to commence the presentation of the 2019, 2020 and 21 graduates to our Deputy Chancellor. I now introduce the Executive Dean of the Faculty of Business and Law, Professor Colin Picker, to present graduates to the Deputy Chancellor, Mr. Warwick Shanks, for the Faculty of Business and Law.
Good morning. Welcome. Thank you, Professor Farrell. It is my great pleasure to be here celebrating with our graduates today. We're very proud of what you all have achieved, and I wish to convey my personal congratulations to all of the graduates. Will the graduates who are to be presented with undergraduate and postgraduate awards from the Faculty of Business and Law please stand? Deputy Chancellor, I present to you the graduates to receive awards from the Faculty of Business and Law.
In the name of the Council and by my authority as Deputy Chancellor, I confirm your admission to the awards for which you have qualified.
Graduates, please be seated. Deputy Chancellor, sadly, Miss Hayley Ashcroft. Sorry.
Mr. Alexander Kvek. Ms. Farzana Farisha Ali. Mr. Christopher Busby. Miss Brianna Chan. Miss Shan Cusson. Ms. Zoe June Field. Mr. Justin Gorjevsky. Ms. Navjeet Gruwal. Miss Alexandra Grozdanovsky. Ms. Michelle Eleanor Hermes. Mr. James Hropik. Mr. Nikola Kerevkin. Ms. Tariro Mapika. Ms. Natasha Wambui Najomo. Miss Elise Ramage. Mr. Jacob Shenkovich. Mr. Benjamin John Tisdale. Ms. Shweta Dashani Varma. Miss Amina Abu Kusa. Mr. Kent Vincent Aligner. Ms. Brooklyn Alexander. Mr. James Arnold. Miss Sophie Aroutsidis. Miss Amanda Larissa Bentley. Ms. Catherine Nomrota Bishash. Mr. Peter Bodkovic. Miss Laura Bonici. Mr. Joshua Bowden. Ms. Rhiannon Brown. Ms. Isabella Burek. Miss Chloe Marie Ruby Button. Mr. Liam Byrne. Mr. Jonathan Caruana. Ms. Adela Chen. Miss Shi Chen. Miss Bingfeng Shi. Miss Sophie May Christie. Mr. Benjamin Cochrane. Mr. Pierce George Cole Sinclair. Miss Annabelle Louise Cook. Miss Montana Cook. Miss Amy Cover. Mr. Darcy Kremen. Miss Emma Cummings. Mr. Joshua Curcio. Miss Georgia Davey. Mr. Kyle Dell. Mr. Dylan DiPietro. Miss Lily Anastasia Dulhunty. Mr. Josiah Dye. Ms. Angela Madeline Ellicott. Mr. Anthony Peter Fedorovich. Mr. Aidan Ferderer. Mr. Connor Foley. Mr. Timothy Ford. Mr. Matthew Franklin. Mrs. Tonya Marie Frost. Mr. Adam Galanti. Miss Taylor Garrity. Mr. Joel Gibson. Mr. Tyson Gilbert. Miss Khadija Jeweli. Mr. Philip Gerchanovsky. Ms. Callie Ann Harmer. Mr. Braxton Hay. Mr. Clement Kim Kiek Hee. Mr. Cooper Robert Horton. Mr. Alexander Huliaras. Miss Aksa Humayun. Mr. Benjamin Jeffrey Hunt. Mr. Riley James Irvin. Mr. Mohammed Jakaria. Mr. Darcy Jeffrey. Mr. Ben Newman Johnston. Miss Elma Kapi. Mr. Nathan Constantine Kapsamalis. Miss Lee Shen Kao. Miss Ruby Jewel Kennett. Mr. Jake Carey. Mr. Barry Kabul. Mr. Callum Kilo. Miss Basma Koro. Mr. Elliot Michael Coroneos. Miss Asiya Mladenova Kostova. Mr. Paul Harry Kiraku. Ms. Sophie Louise Lee. Ms. Michelle Ka-Yi Lee. Mr. Ting-Wei Liang. Ms. Keon Lid. Miss Carly Livingstone. Mr. Brendan Maher. Mr. Zachary Major. Ms. Kate Marshall. Miss Caitlin McCarran. Mr. James McDonald. Mr. Luke McGrath. Ms. Jade McCowan. Miss Lily May Meetry. Miss Ashley Munier. Ms. Monica Molando. Mr. Dimitri Lekaz Mithilos. Mr. Joe Newcomb. Ms. Anna Nguyen. Miss Nu Ziem An Nguyen. Mr. Nicholas Trung Hui Nguyen. Mr. Ryan Novinch. Miss Sarah Elizabeth O'Brien. Mr. Juan Borge Justine Avesu Opia. Mr. Damien Stephen Owen. Ms. Megan Kylie Josephine Page. Mr. Pete Dean Paradises. Miss Grace Parker. Ms. Estelle Pediotis. Miss Tomanwan Poomtong. Mr. Nicholas Didier Predkowski. Mr. Dylan Pryor. Mr. Jahal Chi. Mr. Lachlan David Rose. Miss Bree Russell. Mr. Baron C. Miss Talia Sky. Miss Vienna Rosemary Sogialofa. Miss Joanne Sofa. Mr. Ethan John Stein. Miss Vanessa Stevenson. Mr. Luka Stevanovic. Mr. Gregory John Sykes. Mr. Matthew Teixeira. Miss Kristen Thompson. Mr. Timothy Trepezanovsky. Miss Hannah Elizabeth Twyman. Miss Lara Jane Varga. Ms. Annalise Vassallo. Miss Jennifer Vassiliou. Mr. Henry Vo. Mr. Tyson John Wade. Mr. Jake Waller. Mr. William Wallace. Mr. Keelan Sandon Ward. Mr. Isaac White. Mr. Charles Whitford. Mr. Ryan Williams. Ms. Emma Wilson. Mr. Alexander Witherden. Mr. Owen Wright. Ms. Xiaoshan Yang. Mr. Nicholas Youssef. Mr. Daniel Thomas Zafirovsky. Miss Yasmin Bonney. Mr. William Edward Breeze. Miss Diane Nathania Christie. Miss Rachel Jean Cubis. Miss Rutuja Santosh Desai. Miss Emma Louise Downey. Miss Annabelle Phoebe Dunn. Miss Emma Greenhalgh. Mr. Corey Harding. Miss Jessica Harris. Miss Isabel Hartley. Mr. Kai Harvey. Miss Phoebe Hind. Miss Claire Alexandra James. Mr. Hayden Kenyak. Mr. Daniel Lubinovich. Ms. Shulakshana Madden. Mrs. Ani Mahajan. Miss Chelsea McLean. Miss Sarah Kate Norbury. Miss Anicia Gabrielle Oberg. Mr. Michael Pejowski. Miss Lillian Persian. Miss Olivia Chiara Pochadu. Mr. Ashish Rai. Miss Desliana Rifai. Miss Emma Roberts. Miss Felicia Rodriguez. Mr. Christopher Remiliotis. Miss Tia Josephine Christina Rundback. Mr. Tahazaki Salim. Miss Charlotte Hannah Alexandra Scott. Miss Bronte Scully. Miss Liliana Spiroski. Mr. Joseph Stanford. Miss Rebecca Stiff. Miss Amber Thorpe. Mr. William Barry Trounson. Miss Tia J. Valentini. Miss Emily Webb. Mr. Aaron Yerbury. Miss Amber Orcholoni. Miss Talia Burke. Miss Jacqueline Eve Farrer. Miss Michaela Anita Fletcher. Miss Zhan Chao Huang. Miss Lauren Kate Hunter. Mr. Adam Karianis. Miss Kiara Rose Leslie. Miss Terry Milani. Miss Sarah Kate Officer. Miss Kirsty Packer. Ms. Samantha Rose Peace. Miss Han Lin Pham. Mr. Hu Zuk Chi Pham. Ms. Shraddha Rice. Mr. Samuel Shanks. Miss Taylor Jane Semelj. Ms. Sinem Tunser. Mr. Douglas Arthur Davison. Mr. Adam James Metcalf. Mr. Max Markovsky. Mr. Shannon William Nicol. Mr. Michael George Padatukos. Mr. Christopher Popovsky. Ms. Samantha Bauer. Miss Nicole Drainers. Miss Michaela Rose Giorgio. Mr. Thomas Evan Goldie. Miss Jessica Danielle Hackman Betcher. Miss Alicia Lawrence. Ms. Tara Elise Moody. Miss Alana Louise Mulatziotis. Mr. Caleb O'Connor. Ms. Evangeline Louise Patton. Mrs. Nadika Petrosky. Mr. James Ruhana. Miss Miriam Jane Saunders. Ms. Tess Hanika Shepherd. Ms. Hannah Catherine Stepan. Miss Olivia Kate Michelle Thompson. Miss Larissa van der Riest. Miss Gretel Adelia Vathan. Mr. Matthew Zapier. Miss Dale Jacqueline Kurowski. Mr. Nicholas Kirakudes. Mr. Thomas Gerard Lawler. Miss Caitlin Sarah Rudd. Ms. Grace Agnew. Ms. Laura Blackstone. Ms. Isabella Leone Dina. Mr. Boston Edwards. Ms. Sarah Fox. Mr. Lachlan O'Shea. Ms. Justice Panapa. Mr. Jared Purvis. Mr. James Toogood. Ms. Kirili Joy Carrington. Ms. Monique Chele. Ms. Monique Cooper. Miss Anharid Caitlin Foster. Mr. Jackson Andrew Gray. Ms. Cheyenne Griffiths. Mr. Thomas James Rowlands. Ms. Chelsea Tezewski. Ms. Jessica Bagnall. Ms. Ashley Sarah Howard. Ms. Belinda Luthwaite. Mr. Stephen Christodoulos. Mr. Jared Cotree. Mr. Benjamin Geergis. Mr. Alexander Hamilton. Ms. Sinya Minting Huang. Ms. Angela Izajlovska. Ms. Ashley McDermott. Ms. Gabrielle McDonald. Ms. Samantha Milosevsky. Ms. Alicia Vandana Nuez. Ms. Christiane Papanikolo. Mr. Daniel Reed. Mr. Richard Shen. Ms. Alexa Jane Stefanovsky. Ms. Marise Youssef. Mr. Corey Aylett. Mr. Joshua Gregory Koslow. Mr. Brian Francott de Silva. Ms. Sarah Elspeth Lemon. Mr. Brandon Lopez. Mr. Jacob Joseph Musa. Ms. Emily Nugara. Miss Chloe Smith. Miss Olivia Catherine Torchia. Mr. Christian Vikorowski. Ms. Sarah Welch. Ms. Meg Bell-Shanks. Mr. Nathan Patrick Hawkes. Mr. Matthew James Kynaston. Miss Zoe Louise Marlin. Ms. Olivia Pote. Ms. Talia Rodriguez.
Deputy Chancellor. Sadly, Miss Hayley Ashcroft, a candidate for the Bachelor of Business, passed away before she could receive her degree. I invite her mother, Mrs. Alison Ashcroft, and her sister, Ms. Ebony Ashcroft, to come forward to accept the posthumous award.
I was going to say something to them. That's our response. In the name of the Council and by my authority as Deputy Chancellor, I confirm Ms Hayley Ashcroft's admission to the Bachelor of Businesses, and on behalf of all of us, we express our sincere condolences. Thank you.
On behalf of the whole UOW community, I'd like to once again extend our condolences to the Ashcroft family. We will be continuing the presentation of awards shortly. I would now like to introduce our musical item for today. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Mahalia Barnes, accompanied by Franco Ragat. Mahalia Barnes has been raised in music her entire life. Her childhood years consisted of a musical diet that included Mahalia Jackson, Ray Charles, Ike and Tina Turner, Aretha Franklin, and Stevie Wonder, all of which helped shape her into a powerhouse soul and blues vocalist. She's also recorded and toured with the likes of Liam Gallagher, Cole Chisel, and Jimmy Barnes. So we are so fortunate to have her here with us today. Please welcome Mahalia Barnes to perform This Is Me.
I'm not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say. We don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they'd say. No one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, faith because I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us. Oh, we are glorious when the sharpest words wanna cut me down. I'm gonna send a flood, I'm gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me, look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. Oh, 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 oh. There's nothing that's not worth fighting for. Oh, no. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Thank you so much, and congratulations to all the incredible graduates. What an amazing achievement in such difficult times. So thank you all for having me.
Thank you, Mahalia and Franco, for that really beautiful performance. So I'd now like to call back to the lectern the Executive Dean of the Faculty of Business and Law, Professor Colin Picker, to present the graduates to the Deputy Chancellor, Mr. Warren Shanks, for the Faculty of Business and Law.
Thank you, Professor Farrell. We will now continue with the presentation of the awards.
Ms. Sarah Jade Jobson. Miss Madeline Louise Finlay. Ms. Emma Rose Isabel Ford. Miss Brittany Bartolo. Mr. James Robson. Mr. Chris Spiro. Nicholas Candilis. Mr. Lawson Spencer. Ms. Georgia Campbell. Miss Jamie Crystal Carter. Ms. Hannah Louise Cavalieri. Ms. Rachel K. Parr. Ms. Madison Vangie. Ms. Megan Chow. Miss Bianca Conchetta Krapis. Ms. Paige Pamela Herford. Miss Madeline Joseph. Miss Hannah Little. Mr. Jacob Denton Morath. Mr. Kui Tyne Nguyen. Ms. Michalina Novakovska. Ms. Georgina Grant. Miss Rebecca Amy Long, Miss Mariette Lewis, Mr. Caleb Connolly, Mr. Robert Spinks, Miss Johanna Collins, Ms. Emily Pern, Ms. Kirsten Lara Pennings, Ms. Cody Tegan Worlden Garrity, Ms. Sophie Dunn, Mr. James Carroll, Mr. Alexander Harold Vince Petrolo, Mr. Robert Meat, Miss Virginia Mary Dorr, Miss Isabel Jade Herbert, Ms. Lauren Jones, Miss Angela Muller, Mr. Zane Christian Wild, Miss Jenna Lennon, Ms. Christina Lee O'Shea, Miss Dana Mary Gervin, Mr. Thomas Alexander Doyle, Mr. Dimitrios Havagia, Ms. Summer Rose Ray, Claudia Catherine Marsden Robinson, Mr. Zachary West, Mr. Andrew Dante Mastroianni, Miss Elizabeth Louise Pratt,
Deputy Chancellor, I take great pleasure in presenting the recipients of the University Medal in the Faculty of Business and Law for 2020 and 2021. The University Medal is for outstanding performance and is awarded to the highest achieving student as determined by their academic performance across the entire undergraduate degree. For the University Medal in the Faculty of Business and Law and for their bachelor degrees, for the Bachelor of Commerce Honours in 2020, Nan Hen Pham. For Bachelor of Commerce Honours in 2021, Ms. Heather Ann Burton. And for Bachelor of International Studies, for Bachelor of International Studies, Bachelor of Arts Honours 2020, Ms. Anthea Furfurka. We will now present the awards for our graduates from the Faculty of Business and Law.
Mr. Lawrence Che Lee. Mr. Mohammed Jalilabele. Miss Fiona Margaret McCarthy. Mr. Bocha Hai. Miss Tasha Isabel May McLeod. Miss Momita Hori. Ms. Maria James. Mr. Bezad Go Mohammadi. Mr. Johnny Harb. Mr. Kartikeya Naluri. Mr. Subhabdeep Paul. Ms. Sutipon Apiwatanasari. Mrs. Zamina Amir. Mr. Rajit Bajpai. Miss Samantha Cecilia Castro Marin. Mr. Ayush Paresh Choksi. Miss Rong Gong. Ms. Ikra Kadir Hamid. Ms. Fahana Haq. Mrs. Kiran Bala. Mr. Utkarsh Kamlesh Kothari. Mr. Gurdeep Singh Lamba. Miss Manirat Limnarapirum. Miss Shan Shan Ma. Miss T. Phuong Nguyen. Mr. Divyank Pandi. Mr. Akshay Anukumar Picha. Mr. Pongsatorn Putong. Mr. Aditya Prakash Pujari. Miss Shavari Sharad Puro. Miss Means Srivastava. Miss Simandeep Kaur Virk. Mrs. Nigma Bajacharya. Mrs. Mangzul Batbold. Miss Claudia Fries. Ms. Gaganpreet Kaur. Ms. T. Min Chan Nguyen. Ms. T. Nyuk Mai Nguyen. Miss Natanisha Tebmani. Mr. Bruce Andrew Mills. Mr. Roy Ian Wakelin King. Miss Anna Margaret Davey. Ms. Catherine Ann Grant. Ms. Rachel Mary Hassel. Ms. Jacqueline Loran. Mr. Benjamin James Patton. Mr. Philip James Pooley. Mr. Benjamin Luke James Wakeling. Mr. Rushab Hitesh Avlani. Ms. Pavani Prudvi. Mrs. Insaya Paravjuv. Mr. David Wade Rigter. Mr. Kwan Zhang Bui. Mr. Tristan Williams. Mrs. Erin Aisha Chowdhury. Mr. Supriya Paul. Ms. Jennifer Toledo Serrano. Mr. Andrew David Coury. Mr. Andrew Royals. Mr. Akshay Kumar. Mr. Mohammed Jigaru Alom. Ms. Rashmi Ashok. Mr. Shukulan Bhattacharjee. Ms. Stacy Neves Francis Castanha. Ms. Su Yao Chong. Mr. Samrat Hassan Chaudhuri. Ms. Simran D'Souza. Mr. Jayesh Roshanlal Golani. Ms. Akansha Vijay Yani. Ms. Anita Kadka. Mrs. Muna Kanwa. Ms. Jayotsna Lewis. Mr. Param Deep. Ms. Deepa Siliki Sebastian. Ms. Sharifa Noor Elena Syed Jamil Fadak. Mr. Reno Titus. Miss Mia Carbajal. Ms. Natasha Prasad Deshpande. Mr. Odomviche Hang. Ms. Titoy Leon Nguyen. Ms. Sabina Sheshta. Mr. Porawi Sankep. Ms. T. Min Hyu Shin. Mr. Mohammed Sulaiman Mohammed Al-Lubani. Mr. Gokul Raj Yavedev. Mr. Buranuddin Malik. Mr. Faziuddin Mohammed. Mr. Shamsuddin Olasunkanmi Taiwo. Mr. Dikshit Vutpala. Mr. Aravind Anthony Yella. Mr. Utkarsh Yogi. Mr. Rudd James Bland. Mr. Bowen Jin. Ms. Xue Chen. Ms. Palak Sani. Ms. Soni Thomas. Mr. Joshua James. Mr. Amir Ahmed. Mr. Christian Jamie Bozanovsky. Miss Elmadina Latifi. Mr. Payush Parikh. Mr. Yash Dinesh Rawal. Mr. Bestin Peter. Mr. Andrew Herring. Miss Ashia Nagpal. Miss Tao Shang Lu. Mrs. Mamata Baskota. Mrs. Urmila Dimau. Mr. Roman Jimenez.
I present to you, from the Faculty of Business and Law for their bachelor degrees, Paramjit Kaur Kaur. Erica Pamela Tan. Elise Mivgiotis. Christine Bouyetre. Winston Lester Bell. Deputy Chancellor, I present to you from the Faculty of Business and Law for the Graduate Certificate, Kyria Lee Pestrovic. Deputy Chancellor, I present to you from the Faculty of Business and Law for their Master degrees, Preethi Reddy Badu. Venkachas Kandraganti. Gurdeep Kaur. Sayantan Mandal. Suman Roy. Protik Saha. Tanya Full. Padmana Paresh Sharma. Sri Lakshmi Edathadan Sukumaran. It is now with great pleasure that I announce our doctoral award recipients. Will the graduates who are to be presented with the doctoral awards from the Faculty of Business and Law please stand? Deputy Chancellor, I present to you the doctoral graduates from the Faculty of Business and Law who, by reason of their theses and other work at the university, have met the requirements for admission to doctoral degrees.
In the name of the Council and in my authority as Deputy Chancellor, I confirm your admission to the doctoral degree for which you have qualified.
Graduates, you may be seated. Deputy Chancellor, I present to you for their doctoral degrees. For their evaluation of structural change in primary care, Dr. Alex McLaren. For their exploration, individual women managers' perceived work-life balance, a work values perspective, Dr. Jiling Sun. For the rights-based management in the transboundary fisheries of the Western and Central Pacific Ocean, Dr. Kamal Yusuf Azmi. For their examination into the spectacle of transparency as accountability in the Nigerian extractive industries Transparency Initiative, Dr. Walid El Hamed. For their study into market microstructure evidence of China's market-wide circuit breakers and herd behavior, Dr. Zhenru Wang. For their study into the onshore impact of offshoring and how to support employee motivation and well-being, Dr. Melanie Jahan Ahmed. For their study into evaluating the effectiveness of a student learning support program in Australian higher education context, Dr. Jin Chui. For their study into the description of accounting professionalism through the lens of accounting practice and education, Dr. Shital Dio. For their exploration into children's thinking about leaders, specifically their ideas about the traits, behaviors, and function of leaders, Dr. Claudia Escobar Vega. For their study into founder entrepreneurs' experience of the acquisition process, Dr. Lucinda Mary McFadden. For their investigation into the influence of frontline employee empowerment on organizational performance and analytics-driven services, Dr. Saradhi Matamari. For their exploration of the deferral of software systems maintenance within the domain of information systems, Dr. Christopher Neil Savage. For their examination into foreign direct investments and economic growth issues in the middle income level countries, Dr. Vaibula Dhananjaya Vikramananchi. For their exploration into the power and politics surrounding Australia's refugee policy and how this impacts healthcare and human rights, Dr. Ebony Joan Birchall. For their exploratory and quasi-experimental project about legal education in Australia, focusing on good practice for developing and supporting law student writing, Dr. Sandra Lee Noakes. And for their exploration into leadership succession management, best practice from the perspective of the individual, Dr. Ingo Susing.
I now present the candidate to be admitted as an Emeritus Professor of the University. Will Professor Richard Kensington please stand? Deputy Chancellor, I present Professor Richard Kensington. Richard Kensington is a pioneer in the field of marine and coastal environmental management, a passionate educator and world-renowned expert and advocate for the protection and sustainable management of marine environments. His lifelong commitments to our oceans is beyond doubt. Early in his distinguished career, Richard was instrumental in the establishment of the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park Authority. He was a Foundation staff member from 1975 and shortly after its reception, until retiring as Executive Director in 1999. Richard's tenure saw the authority grow from a small and largely experimental regulatory body to a globally respected environmental management agency, the first large marine park in the world. Richard led the UNESCO nomination for the Great Barrier Reef as a World Heritage Area. He also established the International Coral Reef Initiative and associated international tropical marine ecosystem management symposia. He was instrumental in having the Great Barrier Reef, Torres Strait, and Coral Sea listed as a particularly sensitive area, the first by the International Maritime Organization. It remains only one of 15 such areas worldwide. Richard's team devised the Marine Spatial Planning System, which is integral to the operation and management of zoned multi-use marine protected areas, and which now represents the standard approach to marine park management worldwide. Richard's expertise has contributed to international policy development and capacity building for sustainable coastal and marine biodiversity and resource management. A UOW Honorary Visiting Professor from 2000 to 2010, Richard joined UOW's Australian National Centre for Ocean Resources and Security in 2010, and served as Secretary to ANCOR's Advisory Board, and contributing in many ways to research and teaching at UOW before retiring in 2020. Deputy Chancellor, Richard's contribution to UOW comes from a deep commitment to sustainable ocean management. His research positioned the New South Wales South Coast as a leader in the development of blue economies, placing UOW and global challenges at the forefront of global research in the field. For his outstanding contribution to UOW over 2 decades, it is a privilege to present Richard Kenchington to be admitted as an Emeritus Professor of the University of Wollongong.
In the name of the Council and by my authority as Deputy Chancellor, I admit you as an Emeritus Professor of the University of Wollongong. Congratulations.
I will now present the candidate for the degree of Doctoral Law . I will now present the candidate for the degree of Doctor of Law, Honoris Causa. Will Vice Admiral Michael Joseph Noonan please stand? Deputy Chancellor, it gives me great pleasure to present Vice Admiral Michael Joseph Noonan to you for admission to the degree of Doctorate of Laws, Honoris Causa. Michael Noonan has continuously made significant contributions to regional, national, and international maritime security. His professional dedication and sustained impact have seen him fulfill leadership roles at all levels of the Australian Defence Force. Michael is an inspirational leader and with extraordinary ability to encourage and mentor those around him. Through hard work and determination, he has climbed the officer ranks of the Australian Navy to reach its peak position as Chief of Navy. Michael's achievements have consistently extended beyond his own command. He has been instrumental in enhancing the visibility of maritime policy issues and in the preparation of key responses to maritime security threats across the state and federal government departments and law enforcement agencies. Through his dedication and tireless work, Michael's efforts have directly contributed to the significant enhancement of Australian national interests, specifically with respect to border and maritime security. He has held a number of senior posts within the Navy, the Department of Defence, and other departments, including that of Commander Maritime Border Command, during which he delivered the eradication of illegal fishing in Australia's Antarctic jurisdiction. Michael holds a master's degree in maritime policy from UOW, and his relationship with the University of Wollongong extends to a fruitful ongoing relationship with the Australian National Centre for Ocean Resources and Security at UOW. Michael's incredible dedication and achievements have been recognised with 2 commendations for distinguished service. In 2012, he was appointed member of the Order of Australia, and in 2018, he was appointed an officer of the Order of Australia. Deputy Chancellor, Michael Noonan's outstanding service to his country is an inspiration. Today, we honour Michael's exceptional leadership and contributions to maritime policy and security. Vice Admiral Noonan has led and delivered at every stage in his career, ensuring the safety of Australia's maritime borders and security, foraging international alliances, and effectively leading the Royal Australian Navy to achieve optimal operational outcomes. He is an inspirational Australian leader. It is a real privilege and a pleasure to present Michael Joseph Noonan to be admitted for a Doctorate of Laws honoris causa.
I think I told them that. In the name of the University and by my authority as Deputy Chancellor, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa of the University of Wollongong.
So there we go.
It now gives me great pleasure to introduce Vice Admiral Michael Joseph Noonan to give the occasional address today. Please join me in welcoming Vice Admiral Michael Joseph Noonan.
The presiding officer of the ceremony, Mr. Warwick Shanks, and the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, and our MC today, Vice-President Professor Theo Farrell. Firstly, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians on the lands on which we meet today and pay my respects to Aboriginal elders, past, present and emerging. I would also like to pay my respects to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders who have contributed to the defence of Australia in times of peace and war. Deputy Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, members of the academic staff, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, but most importantly, fellow graduates, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the University of Wollongong for conferring upon me an honorary doctorate. The honour genuinely humbles me. It reaffirms the long-standing partnership between the University of Wollongong and the Royal Australian Navy, specifically our ongoing collaboration with the Australian National Centre for Ocean Resources and Security, ANCORS. As the Chief of Navy and as a University of Wollongong alumnus, I value our enduring partnership. I really do. I hope that we continue to learn from one another and continue to collaborate into the future. And I would like to formally thank the Chancellor and staff for their commitment and for your ongoing support, which enables our Navy to achieve in an increasingly complex global and regional environment. Today, we gather to reflect, recognise and celebrate the significant personal achievements of our graduates. Graduates who have committed themselves to develop, understand and contribute to a field of study over a wide range of programs. This significant undertaking, while worthy of recognition, would not have been possible without the support of our enduring networks. And I therefore would like to offer my sincere gratitude on behalf of all graduates here today to our families, friends, colleagues and peers. Their support, encouragement and guidance have ensured the maintenance of our motivation, focus and determination. Today's milestone, while significant, is one of many you will have throughout your future careers. As a professional mariner, I liken it to a nautical theme. When sailing a ship, we plot our course, using a head mark, a prominent point ahead of the ship to ensure that we are heading in the right direction. avoiding chartered hazards. One tool we use in establishing our position in the near future is dead reckoning and estimated positions. Essentially, we look to the near future and based on our ship's current course and speed and the environmental conditions, we plot our estimated position, ensuring that we are not sailing into potential danger. It is not easy to say that we do not stray off course from time to time. In fact, sometimes we do so intentionally. But by having a plan and a clear headmark, we can quickly regain our track when needed. Our academic students, you will likely have been in a similar position in which you have been on track and been able to estimate your position with relative certainty. You will have a clear view of when you stray from your course, and just like a mariner, you will be able to take action to bring yourself back on track. Today, as you achieve this milestone, your future destination, direction or track remains largely unknown. Your ability, therefore, to dead reckon or estimate your position with clarity is less certain. As you celebrate and reflect on your achievement today, it is time to set a new headmark, a new end state, and a new goal. Towards your future goals, be they moving into further study, embarking upon a new career, or continuing within your existing career, I offer you my guidance, following my own long yet rewarding journey. It's relatively simple. Set yourself goals, give yourself a target, and set yourself a headmark. That is SMART. S-M-A-R-T. Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. This will ensure that your goals are attainable and quantifiable. You will be able to measure your estimated position and make those critical course corrections when required, ensuring that you do not sail off into dangerous, uncharted waters. Make the time to stop, reflect, and measure your progress, and make any course corrections that may be required. Move into your future with purpose and direction, acknowledge the dangers and pitfalls, and keep checking and adjusting your course in order to stay on track. Thank you, and once again, I offer my heartfelt thanks and gratitude for this honour bestowed upon me, and my sincere congratulations to each and every one of you here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Admiral Noonan, for that inspirational address and for those very wise words for our graduates as they embark on the next stage of their journey, how to avoid those dangerous uncharted waters. Thank you. I would like now to call upon Miss Anthea Fafarko to give the vote of thanks. Anthea graduates today with a Bachelor of Commerce and Honours. Anthea has an outstanding academic record, demonstrating a significant commitment to her studies. She was awarded the University Medal earlier in this ceremony. Please join me in welcoming Miss Anthea Fafarko.
Chancellor, members of the University, distinguished guests, fellow graduates, family, friends, and partners. It is a great honour to be here presenting the vote of thanks on behalf of the Faculty of Business and Law graduating classes for 2019, 2020, and 2021. I'd first like to thank Vice Admiral Michael Joseph Noonan for sharing their strategy on planning for the future. We will make sure to set up a headmark when we embark on this next chapter of our lives. Today is a momentous occasion for us graduates. The day has finally come where we can all come together and celebrate our victories. I'm sure each of us would have had a very unique experience at the University of Wollongong, but we all went through 3 different stages of university life. The first stage was filled with firsts. For the very first time as students, we had ventured onto this beautiful campus that is hugged by the escarpment. We got lost finding our lectures and tutorials, but thankfully the uni bar was easy to find. For the first time, we had to awkwardly sit next to someone in class, and for some of us, that person is now one of our best friends. We also had to find out the hard way that those big ducks, they will look for you, they will find you, and they will eat your lunch. In the middle phase, we realised that university is a lot harder than what we were expecting, causing us to reevaluate some of our life choices. We struggled. We struggled with our coursework, we struggled finding work experience, and we struggled balancing 100 commitments at once. But we stuck it out and made it to the final stage of university. Just as we had our series of firsts, we had our series of lasts. We had that last revision class, that last assessment submission, and that last uni-induced mental breakdown. It goes without saying that our university experience was extremely out of the ordinary. The series of disruptions that we had over the past 2 years really made that middle and final stage of university extra challenging. We were scared, we were afraid, and we had become addicted to TikTok. Nevertheless, we managed to overcome these adversities and make it to where we are today. But we could not have done it alone. So on behalf of my fellow graduates, I would like to extend my most sincere gratitude to everyone who helped us. First, I'd like to thank the UOW community. Choosing to study at the University of Wollongong was one of the best decisions that I and many others have ever made. To the academic staff, thank you for not only ingraining the course fundamentals, but for also encouraging us to work collaboratively, think critically, and behave ethically. It was an absolute privilege to learn from some of the most knowledgeable yet down-to-earth people in your field. To the administrative staff, thank you so much for ensuring our university experience ran as smoothly as possible. It would not have been an easy task. Finally, to our biggest cheerleaders, our family, friends, and partners, it is with your support, encouragement, and patience that we are able to make it here today. We love you and are forever grateful to have you in our lives. And congratulations to my fellow graduates. Today, we wear our gowns and hats as an emblem of conquering the unexpected and unimaginable. While the future is still uncertain, it is also very bright. We are the first swarm of graduates that are entering this new and rapidly evolving world, and with that comes a lot of exciting opportunities. I wish you all the best, and I look forward to seeing what we can all accomplish as UOW alumni. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthea, and thanks for that fantastic description of firsts, middles, and lasts of university life. So graduates, families, and friends, we're coming close to the end of our ceremony today. As you might expect, putting on a ceremony of this kind has been a huge endeavour, one big, massive team effort. Lots of people have leaned in, and so I'd like to recognise, acknowledge, and thank all the staff and students who have made this possible, and also all the staff and student volunteers who volunteered their time today to assist with the celebration. We'd like, yeah, I think that's, thank you. We'd now wish to share with you our graduation video. We hope this video will encourage you to reflect on all of the infinite moments that have led you to where you are sitting today.
Everything we've done has led towards today. But graduation seems singular. After all, it's one day, one degree, one end and one beginning. Think about it this way though. If we divide today by 4 years,
Or 5 years.
Or 3 years.
Or 8 years.
the equation becomes clearer. Because today isn't just an event or a graduation or a moment of change. It's what we've created through 24 subjects.
11 all-nighters.
357 books read.
54 5,000-word essays.
40 monologues critiqued.
154 films watched.
And 4 films made. Let's be real though. Our experience is way bigger than just the classroom. You've got to factor in
665 hypotheses.
6 heated dramas.
2 semesters abroad. 5 new cultures experienced.
12 concerts attended.
843 waves ridden.
169 hours lounging around.
17 dance parties.
2 major heartbreaks.
And more lifelong friendships than we can count.
When we take those experiences, the long days, late nights and early mornings into the equation, we realise that graduation at the University of Wollongong isn't just some singular thing.
That it's a transition from finding our purpose
to changing our world with the purpose we found.
That our passport to the future has been stamped.
With the mark of a globally respected education.
And most importantly, we realise the moments that led up to this are
a tapestry,
a symphony,
an equation,
a 65,000-year-old history.
We realise that though today is a single moment, graduation is much bigger than any one day. Because, like an algorithm made up of bits of code,
Or a building built from many bricks.
Or a community built from many different people, today is the result of our
experiments,
experiences,
tests,
trials,
and victories.
So that's what we celebrate today. Not the cap, not the gown, but the infinite number of moments we shared at the University of Wollongong.
I think that video was an excellent way to end our ceremony, and I hope you all get to watch it again and share it with others as a reminder of what you have achieved, what you've been through to achieve your degrees today. Before we close, I would like everybody to join me in congratulating our graduates. Would the graduates... I know how keen you are, but we are going to do it differently. Would the graduates please remain seated while the rest of the audience please stands. And I would now ask you to join me in again giving our graduates a warm round of applause. Thank you. We would like to invite all of you to join us outside for light refreshments and to congratulate each of our graduates. Our Aboriginal community members will lead the academic procession out, followed by the graduates and then our VIPs. Guests, please be patient and remain in your seats as the ushers will be giving you instructions on exiting the venue. Please take direction from these ushers as you will be exiting row by row. I now declare this ceremony closed. Thank you.